Hey everyone, I'm Juanica, also known as Miss Astrology, bringing you a little video to share my favorite analogy on how to understand the sun, moon, and rising sign and how each of these play a part in our personality. So, for those that aren't familiar, the ascendant, also known as the rising sign, is the eastmost of the horizon at the time of your birth, depending based on where you were born, the location of your birth, and the time that you were born. Whatever is the eastmost point, whatever sign was coming over the horizon at that time, this is considered your ascendant or your rising sign. You really do need the time of birth to calculate the rising sign. However, a really good astrologer can ask you some questions from childhood and actually pinpoint your rising sign for you. But to be sure, you really want the time of birth. So, in my analogy, the rising sign is who we are when we go on a job interview. This is really you just showing up as your best, showing up as your ideal self, or how you would really like for yourself to be seen. And I don't like when people call the rising a mask because it's not a mask. It's actually a part of who you are. We may not get to see it a lot until you get older, but I do believe that that's because this is a very individual, unique part of everybody's chart. The rising is only 2 hours, and then it moves the way the earth moves. It's in a different rising sign every 2 hours, and a different sign to make a different ascendant every 2 hours. So this is actually a very unique part of our individuality and our personality. And as we get older, we actually develop more into our rising sign. So it's not a mask, it's a part of who you are. Embrace it. The second part of the analogy is the sun sign. Now, the sun is who you are once you get the job, once you get it comfortable and you get familiar with the work and you're not just trying to put on. Now, in an ideal world, this would be a job that you love, right? And so the sun sign is our ego, our pride, our life force. It's what gets us excited about every day. So, and you would think that in an ideal world with a job that you love, this is what gets you get up and excited every day. Now, for some of us, it's easier for us to go to a job that we hate because what gets us excited every day is making money to be able to provide for our families, security, food, travel, things like that. So the sun is who you are. This is who your coworkers know, who your supervisor knows. This could be easily you as a supervisor. This is other people that you work with. They see your sense of humor. They see, how you interact with other people, how you really kind of embrace life. This is the sun sign. And then the moon, this is who you are when you get off of work and you go home. The moon represents home. I like to tell the ladies that this is who we are when we get home and we take off our bra, which makes sense. Cancer rules the moon, and the Cancer also rules the breast. So this is who you are when you go home. You take off your bra. The moon also does rule home and our safety, our foundations. And so the moon is who your children see, who your spouse sees. This is who your parents know. These are your moods, your sensitivities, this vulnerable place that a lot of us really do keep under wraps until we get home and feel that we're in a safe environment. So all three of these, the sun, moon, and rising, are the major contributors to your personality. I would add Mercury in there, but Mercury is our thoughts and communication. So it's actually with us through the entire process. I mean, Mercury is really tells us how to show up at this job interview. It tells us when we can trust and communicate and how we communicate with others on the job. And then it really kind of lets us be ourselves when we're at home. So although I would add Mercury as a major factor in our personality as well, for this analogy, the sun, moon, and rising are who you are on the job interview once you get the job, and then when you check out for the rest of the day to go home. So you really kind of want to blend these three together to understand someone's personality and how you may be actually experiencing different parts of someone's personality based on where you are. So for instance, you go with a friend that's your friend. You've been friends for years, and now you go somewhere that you're not familiar. You don't know anybody else there besides your friend. Neither one of you guys are going to really show up as your sun signs. You're showing up as your rising, as the ascendant, until you get comfortable, until you find other friends. Or then maybe you get back in the car and on your way home, you decide to talk about how much you hated it or loved it, where you open up a little bit more. So I hope this helps you guys understand the three different aspects that primarily make up your personality and how to really just accept them all and incorporate them, or know when they're being incorporated into a scenario. I guess this is why they say, like, never judge a book by its cover, because when you're first meeting someone, you're essentially meeting their ascendant, their rising sign. It's going to take a while to get to know their sun, and you may never get to know their moon, depending on if you're ever in a safe and comfortable environment with them. So let me know what you think. Let me know if this resonates with you. Let me know if you definitely feel the difference between your sun, moon, and rising. I know I absolutely do within my own chart. Yeah, leave a comment and share this with somebody who'd like a little bit more understanding on the difference between the sun sign, the moon, and the rising. Until next time, peace.